Welcome back to Season 7 of Three and a Half Gentlemen, the podcast, where three of the four hosts provide a refined and intellectual analysis of movies and TV shows from our private collections, while one of us tries desperately to keep up. We'll let you decide which host is which, but for now, my name is Sean, and with me, as always, are my fellow eternal souls, Jeremiah.
Are you out of your fucking minds, yo?
Eddie.
I signed that pact with my own blood, feces, and semen.
Brandon.
I was tricked by a devil and betrayed by my lessers.
Right, you fucking go hard on your shit, Brandon.
No smile or anything there. Okay. Eddie, you went on.
Mine
that
hit
one.
too hard. I'm sorry. I'm so
way
sorry.
too hard.
As with every review we give, our goal is to answer one simple question. How many drinks does it take to get through a TV episode that we just watched? Now, at the end of the podcast, we'll rate an episode based on a scale of 0 to 5, with 0 being a perfect episode that you can watch stone cold sober, and 5 being sort of the episode that feels like you got dragged away beneath the sea by a technical beast.
That's right.
I don't know. That could be worse than actually being buried alive
I
for
don't
200
know.
years.
No, give me a tentacle beast. Give me the sarlacc. Let me decompose within 1,000 years in its body. Absolutely. Go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
Paying for 1,000 years or bury 200? I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
I don't know. I'm not gonna last 1,000 years. I'm gonna last like a minute.
Well, tonight we're continuing on our discussion of Widow's Bay, which follows the eerie events happening on a remote New England island, and for this one, maybe in the coasts outside the shores. With episode 7 titled Seasickness, we are returned to the present day, where Tom, Wick, and Patricia realize that the town's first mayor, Richard Warren, has been alive for centuries, buried in his coffin, and they set out to break the curse on Warren and hopefully break the curse on the entire island. Spoiler alert, they don't, that we know of. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, what a horrible. Let me just set up this premise before Eddie goes. Hold on. You've got a guy stuck in a coffin, alive, for like generations. Like, at what point does the fear subside? Like, okay, I'm not going to die. I'm in this coffin. There's enough air. I'm going to live. I'm clearly not going to live. You know, I'm going to live for weeks. Oh, no, weeks come and go. Months. Oh, months come and go. Then it's a question of boredom. Like, what the fuck do you do for 100 years? Like, I mean, literally, you would go a little stir crazy. I would go stir crazy. I don't know about you guys, but like, I mean, I would need like a Nintendo DS or something. I mean, something to keep my,
How are you going to get it into the DS?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
But you know just saying. I think he would probably be singing. I could see Richard Warren singing, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. At one point, and it's got the same idea of like, bro.
I mean, how many songs in the 1700s are there, bro, though? Yeah, 1700s, there's only 4 songs. So what are you singing the same 4 songs over and over?
What was he doing?
I mean,
what was he doing?
My God, like.
I love the fact that you guys went to like a Pirates in the Caribbean song, like yo.
It was the 1700s.
And a pile of dirt on top of me coffin. Go ahead, Eddie. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. Please make sure to check out our social media pages, including Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok, where you can find out about past and upcoming episodes, movie posters, trailers, clips, and much, much more.
Listen, did you guys even think that guy was alive, by the way, when he first kind of got the news? Like, we opened his grave. He's waiting for you. And you're like, I love it. Fuck, he's alive? That caught me off surprise. What did you guys think about that?
Patricia shined in the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she did.
We're operating in a world where these characters know they're in a horror movie. And when they're faced with something that is abnormal, it's almost like they just are pissed off they have to handle it. It's like nobody is shocked that he's alive. Nobody is like, oh my God, he's been alive for 200 years. What has he been doing? No, it's like, oh fuck, the world is ending. He's alive. Like, let's just deal with it. And I think
Patricia was pretty scared shitless. She's literally shaking the whole time. Yeah.
even before they said he's upstairs, I had this thought, right? When they said, hey, we dug up his grave. And I thought, holy shit, I'm thinking, fuck, how badass would that be if Richard Warren was still alive, that he was in that casket for 300 years. And lo and behold, that's what we get. And I mean, we talk, Sean, I know especially is talking consistently in these podcasts about the balance between comedy and horror. And I think that probably one of the most funny comedic segments of this entire series was the first 8 minutes of this episode, from when he walks in and is like, hey, he's upstairs waiting for you, to he only communicates through writing, and he looks at it and it just says, my name is Patricia, how are you, or whatever, right? It's just super simple, stupid comments like this whole
Hi, my name is
small
Patricia.
talk back and forth.
What's
Are you
wrong?
mad at me?
Yeah, what's
Did
wrong?
I upset you?
Yeah, upset you.
Yeah. So, and then you have the what we're talking about with Eddie's quote, when he gently sets down the note, and you see him take his fingers and just wipe them on his pants.
I signed that patch with my own blood, feces, and semen. And you're like,
The
oh.
subtlety
And everyone-
of the humor, right, is so brilliant. And it was again a time where I laughed out loud in the show and smiled and found myself really enjoying an otherwise horrifying moment, right? And I think that that's really kind of the cool balance that the show has, is that we should be feeling scared, but then we're laughing.
The point where he actually gives him the paper, and he gives him back. He doesn't say anything, and all of a sudden he goes, wait, hold on for 1 second. I need to put one more thing. I need to add one more thing. He finally speaks, and he jumps away, and it's such a loud bass baritone voice that the point where it's like, it even scared me when I heard it. I'm like, oh, dude, because I wasn't ready for that. It's just
But then we have
sheer
Patricia
fucking
interrupting,
terror.
right? And then we have Patricia
Yeah,
interrupting
I need
two
my
times.
purse. Yeah.
I need my purse. And she's like all apologetic. It's so awesome.
The balance is fucking great on this. Sean, go ahead.
No, it's hitting on the same problem, or the same, not problem, the same, that the characters realize that they're in a horror movie, they should act a certain way, and that they're interrupted by their normal lives. And they're like, oh, well, I know this guy came back from the dead. He's been in a coffin for 300 years where we've exhumed him. He's in this room talking to the mayor, but I need my fucking purse. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to come into the room and interrupt them because I need my purse for what? God knows what. Who cares? Like, abandon it. It doesn't matter. Get it tomorrow. It'll be fine.
Oh,
But at the same time, I think that is what makes that's what makes this show so fucking unique. I talked a little bit about last episode where we've been comparing this show to so many others, and now it's starting to plot its own course. It's starting to create a mythos of its own in the pantheon of television. And I think that is a testament to how good the show actually is that it's creating a mythos in and of itself, independent of every other show. And that's from where it came from. I mean, think about the first episode. It was The Mist. Essentially it was a Stephen King movie or a Stephen King story. And now it's kind of mutated into something completely different and unique. And I think that, bravo, it's been a wonderful ride. So that's where I'm at.
Every episode had its own episode. I mean, not its own episode, but every episode was separate,
story
right?
focused.
And this is the first time. Yeah, this time it's like, oh shit, this is a two-parter. It seems like it trails on from the other one. So far this season for Withers Bay has hit at something different every different time I'm watching it, and this time, this is a trail from the last episode, which technically didn't finish, and I'm happy it continued because there was a lot more to be said. And this guy is more scarier. Fucking 300 years. Was it 1700 or 1800?
No, 1700s.
Okay, so this guy looked scary as fuck. As soon as you see that the idea that the mayor, he tries to put the light a little bit closer to see his face a little bit, and supposedly this guy won't talk to anyone else in charge of this guy, and you get the idea of like, oh, if this guy only knows how much of a bitch Mayor Tom is, technically, Like he'll take the throne from him right away.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of it's been thrown at Tom's fucking plate for the past 3 days. I mean, it's been pretty fucking hard. I mean, I would lose my shit knowing that there's a fucking guy dead for 300 years, or not dead, alive,
Why
buried
would
for
they
300
leave
years.
him alone in a room? It just baffles me. It was just
It's so funny.
Well, they didn't know that he's
It's
an evil
hilarious.
fucker, right?
Why would Tom loosen the fucking things on his hand?
Well,
Oh,
why
I
would
was
he loosen
scared.
his bonds? Yeah, that's a great question.
Okay, we do that.
I can't write. Bullshit, you can write. That's fuck yeah, you can write.
This guy's 2 weeks has been the most miserable 2 weeks of anyone's life. He started off with a clown in a hotel. He's had like the worst fucking week ever, and it culminates with a guy who's been dead for 300 years who, needs a little room to write. Like, I will say this show definitely defies expectations.
Yeah. I don't want to just keep bringing up funny parts, but I want to mention this one because it was so subtle, and it has to do with the acting and also me apologizing because I said in episode 1 that Patricia, the actress who plays Patricia, she was just bothering me because she was playing it over the top. And then we had episode 4, which was brilliant. It was Patricia's episode. But another part that just showed to me the subtlety of her ability as an actress was when Richard is looking at the dummy model thing of his wife, right?
Sarah.
And of Sarah, and he's looking at it, he's holding her face, and Patricia just goes, "Oh, like how cute is that?" And then he pokes the eyes out, and there's not a word said, but the facial expression right on her face, her facial expression is so funny, and she just gives a little nod, like, "Oh, okay." To me, that's where this show shines, is not the blatant humor. It is so subtle and it's so under the radar. And it really, I mean, I got to be honest, I'm guilty of this. I have only seen these episodes once, but I think that this show really demands a rewatch, or multiple rewatchings probably, to really get all of the subtle humor, and probably, yes, Jeremiah from a couple weeks ago, some of the subtle storylines that might have been missing in episode 5, right? But I think that this was really good. Now, this episode to me, and this is not in detriment to the episode, but this episode to me was kind of more of a one-trick pony where there's only one storyline, right? There's not a whole lot of things happening. However, there is one thing that I feel like we do need to talk about. This a little bit of a tangent from the Richard Warren story, and that is the Evan story. We finally have Evan having a little bit of more purpose in the show, and that's Tom's son, and he's trying to look cool in front of the girls, so he takes her into his dad's room, which apparently is a cool thing to do, and they find the lockbox, break it open, and they find the photos that show that he's been lied to, that Tom has lied to Evan about the death of his mom. And this is a really, really interesting thing, especially when we have episode 5 shows us that the mom apparently went blind after the birth of the baby, that she can't see things, that there's something going on. She was in the hospital, that she's alive. But then we also see that she's been alive for a couple of years at least of Evan's life. And I think that this is a really, really major thing, especially since I'm trying to double down on what I said a couple of weeks ago, which is I think that the wife is going to unlock a lot of the answers for Tom's purpose in this show.
It showed a lot of things there, but it made me think, like, fuck, what's Tom's deal?
Yeah.
I mean, does he have her locked up? I mean, is there more to the story? Like, it really left me kind of like an uneasy feeling, you're like, okay, fuck, I hope Tom's not like the real villain on this shit, or there's something more about it, because it felt weird. It felt like it was going to that direction. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go.
My theory is that she is still alive, that she went crazy, like psychopathically crazy, and that she is institutionalized, and he's embarrassed by that. So the easy answer is to say that she died, because basically she died in his view.
Like Stranger Things, like like Eleven's mom,
Sort of, right? Yeah, but yeah, she went there after the birth of Evan, and so that was Tom's story that he gave Evan. Sean, what you got?
I will say this: she's certainly an undercurrent to the secret.
Yeah.
So we're starting to put the secret together, right? We're starting to understand the scope of the secret. We're starting to understand that Something happened in the 1700s. It's continued on till today. We don't really know what's going on. I think Jeremiah said it early on, hereditary, or maybe it was Brandon. Something is going on with genetics and with the link, and that, you know, her experience is certainly going to have some play in the storyline. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt that that's all leading to something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. But at the same time, I think that the show is doing a magnificent job of delivering, really, with apart from one episode, in my opinion, scary, funny, and plot development every week.
Yeah.
This episode particularly, I think, was really good because you got to see great performances and kind of a data dump. You got to see them trying to solve the problem. There's a problem on the island. People can't leave. Shit's going on down. They think that if they take Hermish, or what's his name? Warren?
Richard.
outside the bounds of Widow's Bay, you know, it's going to contribute to the devolution of the curse.
Well, that's what Richard also confirmed. We don't know. He made it seem like it was also confirmed.
He made it seem like he knew what the fuck was going to happen, and the reality is that he didn't, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, I think that he knew. No, I think that he knew that what was going to happen, and then he, at the end, realized that he still wanted to live. Like, I think he was sacrificing himself up until he said, "Holy shit,
yes,
maybe I do want to live." Right?
Well, the
That's
moment
what happened,
that switched, the moment, because he always thought himself was, you know, oh, I'm weaker, you know, I'm not strong, and then the moment the boat was rocking, it was almost like a pride thing of like, fucking, I'm stronger than you right now. Like I can't die. I can take back control of this island and still, you know,
I should be mayor, right? I should
yeah. I might as well, since I'm living.
He was all for like, okay, what's my last words? Here's some rum. You know, like he was almost like the last rites, you know, before he was about to die. And then there's something that happened. Like, I'm not ready to die. Like, as soon as, and then after all that, that's where Wick was just like, why did you open up the box, you fucking idiot? Like, I love that part too.
Which is a nice little gut drop feel.
For whatever reason, I felt like this definitely mirrors Stephen King, Needful Things. If you don't know what that book is, it's about, you know, a person that's granting people wishes and desires, but for a full price, you know? And I feel like the island does that with like people, like, you can have this, but I'm going to take this away from you, you know? And I feel like we got that in this episode, where it's like definitely like pays a lot of homage to like Stephen King, which I really enjoyed, especially in this episode, that last part right there. Absolutely.
And the other thing that I noticed was the homage to Jaws, right? We're out in a little dinghy boat, right? That we're Jaws, and I'm telling you, we've been talking about it for a couple episodes now. We've been recording for a couple weeks, but a couple episodes, and that is Stephen Root is such an under appreciated actor, right? That we've all loved him from the Coen Brothers movies and some of the other ones that he's been in, like Dodgeball and things like that. But Stephen Root shows his acting chops here, and he does it in mirroring Office Space, right? He does it in mirroring Robert Shaw, right? His story about when he was 16, and they went out fishing to basically just go out and steal a boat and go out and have a good time, and how he was responsible for his friend's death. Right, that he basically kicked him off so that he could save himself, and the framing of it, the pacing of it, the somber description from Stephen Root as a character is mirroring to me Robert Shaw when he's talking about the Indianapolis or the Indiana or whatever the boat.
Indianapolis,
right? Where he's talking about that, he's telling the story about that. It was just beautiful, and I think that Stephen Root deserves all the accolades that he can possibly get for this role, along with all of his other ones. But this, to me, is like beautiful, shining moment for an actor who has been waiting for this kind of role.
A lot of what I get from the show is, and this is something that I think other directors or other shows have offered actors, is a place to shine. And this show is a particular vehicle where it allows people who aren't necessarily given always the chance to shine So I do think that Stephen Root in this particular episode gave you something that you don't get very often, which is an actor doing a part that is kind of a mimicking of an older part, but allows you to kind of dive into his soul and see how great of an actor he really is. And he is.
Yeah, make it fresh.
He is really good. He's a really good actor. He's also hysterically funny, but he's a really good actor. Yeah. And I don't mean to keep bringing up the show, but he was in a show called Fringe for one episode, and his wife was dying of dementia, and he had this time machine that he was creating based on her work, and all he wanted was like 5 minutes with his wife at peak when she was not going through dementia, and it was like this emotionally destroyed episode where all he wanted was like 5 minutes with his wife, and he's a magnificent actor. I think that so many times we don't give actors enough time to kind of do the roles that they want. They're typecast into something.
So Richard disintegrates. Wick comes back on the boat, which we thought, for a second I thought he was like dead or gone or something like that. I was like, oh gosh.
Smart thinking from Tom. He looked at the situation. He's just like, here's a fucking raft. Push him, and then he landed and sat on it. Like, that was pretty dope.
We think that the curse is lifted. Now, when this episode kind of span on the painting of which looks like it's Sarah and the children.
It finishes on the kid. It looks like kid in the water drowning
from the hotel, the inn. Yeah.
Right. So
was that kid? Was that Evan? What was that?
So the thing is now it shows that we have an idea that maybe like Sarah and them, they passed along, they didn't happen, but someone got left behind. And so if someone got left behind, that means that the bloodline is still there.
Ooh, right.
Of Richard Warren. Yeah. Richard Warren. The idea, there's a kid that got dropped. So the way I took to this, Jeremiah and everyone, is someone from Richard's bloodline, one of the kids that was supposed to be going, jumped off the boat or fell off the boat and had to swim back, or somehow got carried back to the island and didn't leave the island, meaning that the bloodline is still there outside of Richard.
And I think that's kind of the focus. I think that's where we're going to go from here. Is we're going to go back to what I believe it was what Brandon said originally is heredity is genealogy. Is there's things that have happened over the course of decades that are part of a family curse that is not ending. So
curses are motherfuckers, yo. Just saying. And that brings us to the end of our review. Now, Mr. Mayor Loftus, can you please provide our scale so each of the hosts can provide a rating for this TV episode?
Sorry, I thought, no, fuck you, no, fuck you, no, fuck you.
Fucking dick.
I was trying to think, did they have that kind of terminology and thought process in the 1700s?
The way that Tom was just like, did he just fucking say that shit? Like, we didn't even talk about that. I was that made me laugh also. I was like, fucking A, bro. Yes, 0, the perfect episode. 1, a feel good first cocktail. 2, a happy buzz. 3, you're gonna Uber lifting home. 4, rough morning walk of shame. 5, blackout, shit-faced, spring break drunk.
Give me the beat, boys, and lose my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll and lift away.
Oh, fuck. Hold on one second.
I feel like I want to Budweiser right now.
Drift away.
I don't like my score.
That's what I said. Drift away.
Free my soul, not lift it.
Time out.
No,
I don't like that score. That's not the right
Drift
score.
away and free my soul. Give me your beat, boys, and free my soul. I want to get lost in your luck and roll.
I'm just glad that you guys are not singing "Life is a Highway."
Hey, I love that fucking song too.
I want to ride it
all night long. Is that Rascal Flatts? I think it's Rascal Flatts.
No, Rascal Flatts
no idea.
redid it. It's not the Rascal Flatts version sucks compared to the original.
All right, ready?
3, 2, 1. Okay. Eddie, go first. Mayor Loftus, hit us first. Hit us with your score.
So the idea of this episode is it's a great episode. It wraps up the last episode. But overall, I feel like I was on the boat the whole episode. I think I got seasickness from just up and down, up and down. It carried on from the previous episode, and it wrapped up the story that was, I think, wonderfully delivered with Warren and his bloodline, and the idea of how strong he seriously could have been, and how I feel like he was pretty much controlled by the devil or something on the other side. I had questions of how he still got the strength, but how he became the one to control this. And I hope they go through that a little bit more in depth. I gave this a pretty good Philger's first cocktail with a half a shot, a 1.25. I still feel like there was little areas that I had questions on. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I was scared as shit, especially in that boat when it turned lights off and Wick went down. And we had Mayor Tom there controlling with a fucking harpoon.
Is it just me, or does he seem like he is just woefully unqualified to be the lead of the show? I mean, I love him. First of all, I love the actor, but
he ran unopposed, so that's why.
Right.
So it's perfect. I don't know what it is. This is like, bro, this guy is so unprepared for this fucking whole. And he just barely
it's like sending in your weakest warrior into
Yeah.
Mount Doom. Like, I mean, he's just not prepared for the hells of Sauron.
He's so not right for this role, but he is also landing every fucking episode. It's weird. It's 1.25 is what I did.
All right,
I'll take the next one.
Half a shot. I'm taking Mr. Warren.
So yeah, listen, Ed, it's funny because going into the recording, I was going to give it somewhere between a 1 and a 1.25. So, and for the exact same purpose, I kept thinking, God, it was kind of, like I said earlier, kind of a one-trick pony where the story was great, but it was so focused on this journey that it just kind of got redundant. And then this is, I would say, one of the biggest about faces and score changes probably in the history of 3.5 Gentlemen, is that as we're talking about it, and as we were talking about the humor and kind of some of the other aspects of this story, kind of the bringing in of the painting, bringing in the question of Tom and Evan and the mom, I just, whether it has any kind of longevity to the story and any kind of importance to the story or not, this is just an enjoyable episode for me. I enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought that it wasn't scary at all for me, but it was funny and it was interesting and it was deep at times. And I think that, like I said, the first 8 minutes had me laughing out loud several times, which is not something that happens a whole lot. I feel like with this show, I'm either going to be like all on board with an episode or really against an episode, which we saw with 5 and a little bit with 1. With that said, I'm giving this a 0.17. It's a 1.7 because it's the 7th episode, and I can't give it a 0.07, so I'm going to give it a 0.17. It's probably a little bit high, but like I said last time with episode 6, I don't really have any kind of negative to give this, except for the fact that at first it seems like it's just kind of redundant and one trick, but I think that there's a little bit more going on here. And it was kind of unspoiled when we were talking about it today. So that's where I'm at, 0.17, and I will go to Todd. Or if you put it backwards, Dot.
Brandon, I actually really enjoyed the shit out of this episode. We were talking about it during this episode, is the balance between the comedy side of it and the horror side of it. It just knows exactly what it wants to do, and it puts us right in the middle of it, and I enjoy the crap out of it. I think everyone who's performing in this episode is fantastic. I like the fact that they wrapped this whole story up, and we still got like 3 more episodes. You know, this could have been like a series finale. So it's like, oh, okay, let's dive further into more of this Widow's Bay, and I love the fact that they're going to go in that direction. The only issue I had was that this should have been a 1 episode here. 6 and 7 should have been just 1 episode, and that would have been the perfect balance right there for me personally on that part. But other than that, man, like, the bring a dead person into the mix of it, you know, and just go with it. It's like Abbott Costello meets Frankenstein type of vibe. That's what it felt like, and I'm all for it, guys. So this is actually a 0.75. It's a shot. And an aftershock a little bit, man. So it's a 0.75 for me here, guys.
It's a spill. I'm very much on board with Jeremiah. I believe that this particular episode. It subverted my expectations. I think that the plots that these people develop in order to try and break this curse are really fucking hysterical. Like, if we only take him out in his tomb or in his coffin beyond Widow's Bay, he'll die. Like, there's no actual evidence or, no, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying that the plots that they come up with are kind of arbitrary, and like they're just desperate to try to break this curse, and they're trying everything that they can. And I think that's consistent as we move forward. Is they really don't know what they're doing, and there's no
that seems like
there's
us,
no
what we would be doing.
parameters to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Where and I said it, I think I said it last episode, where other shows are more refined and controlled about the reveals. I feel like this one is revealing it as though we're finding it out for the first time. It doesn't matter if it's midway through the episode or all the way through the episode or at the beginning of the episode. We're just finding shit out and trying to adapt to it. And I think that is a successful way to keep people on their toes. And this episode certainly kept us on our toes. And the acting was wonderful. Hamish was once again great. And the boat, there's a couple of scenes on the boat that just literally made me laugh out loud, in addition to the 8 minutes at the very beginning. So I thought this balanced the horror comedy better than probably any other episode. And I want to say this is probably my best score of any episode, although I might be wrong because I don't remember, because I'm terrible. But 0.75, I give it a 0.75. This is one of my favorite episodes, if not my favorite episode of the show. And I think that 4 was really, really good. This one might have a beat. I don't remember what I gave 4, but when you take those 4 scores and divide by 4, what does episode 7 of Widow's Bay get an average rating of there, Mayor Loftus?
Yes, 4 scores, and 300 years ago, it gives us a 0.73. A 0.73.
So 0.73 that's definitely going to do well for the average rating of this series. So Jeremiah, taking into consideration the new episode, what does the average series go down to? I believe last episode we were around a 1.3. Is that correct?
Where does this rank among all the episodes is the question.
Yeah, I'm actually having issues with my Excel sheet, so I'm going to have to give you that answer later on next episode. But for right now, this episode is the third best episode of the series.
Third best episode. Okay.
Number 4 is number 1. Number 6 is number 2. Number 7 is number 3.
I like it.
All right. I understand
Sean,
that.
Going back to your scores, the best score that you've given this series is episode 4. You gave it a half a shot at 0.25.
Okay. Okay. This one ends up being a 0.73. Is that what we decided? 0.73 on episode 7?
0.73.
Is that
That's
correct?
what it is. Yeah.
All right. So we're not quite a feel-good first cocktail. We're just below that. I always think it's where it should be, but more importantly, do the audience think it's where it should be? So as we plug along in this season of Widow's Bay, we'd love to hear your comments. Thank you so much. We're excited to bring you another season of 3.5 Gentlemen. In season 7, we're making a concerted effort to grow our social media. So please subscribe, ring that bell on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube at The Gentleman Podcast, at The Gentleman Podcast. The dot means a lot. At The Gentleman Podcast across all social medias. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Widow's Bay. We'll bring you episode 8, I believe, is our next episode, which actually, spoiler, I have seen and I really enjoyed, so I'm very excited about that. So thank you all for listening. With that, cheers, gentlemen.
Peace out, yo.
Cheers.